right, let's get more insight and analysis on the third round of trade talks between China, South Korea, and Japan with Maricruz Magowan, Vice President at the National Economists Club. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Maricruz, while these talks come as Tokyo's relations with Beijing and Seoul remain very frosty with those ongoing territorial disputes, it's a very politically awkward time. The Japanese Trade Ministry official says that the political discord has no adverse effect on the negotiations. Is that even possible? Can progress be made with all of this political tension in the air?
I agree with him because if cool heads prevail, they are going to go for this free trade agreement. One thing that changed a lot the situation, the economic and geopolitical situation over there, is the TTP. And China is not part of the TTP. So they have to react to this kind of increased presence of Americans in the Asian area. And one of the ways to do that is precisely getting into some other trade agreements that can compete in many other ways with the TTP. And they have, of course, the chance to get with Japan and South Korea. You're having China and Japan, the second and the third greatest economies in the world. So it is very important for them to stay together. I think both of them can make gains in different areas, especially in agriculture and also in environment. People are not talking too much about that, but trade and environment is extremely important. They have serious problems in China, especially, and also in Japan, with environmental issues, with lack of environmental protection, and that's causing them high morbidity levels, mortality also, and that's something that hasn't been seen in a good light by other countries, the fact that they didn't take it seriously.
So do you think then that it's the environmental issues that are the least contentious and the most likely to have progress being made on in these talks?
Yes, I think that is going to be one of the positive side effects of this agreement. But also, you know, you have to say this is more, it goes beyond than these trade agreements, lowering the tariffs or harmonizing the regulations. This goes, as I said, more in the geopolitical arena. You know, how are we going to do the new game that countries are playing in the 21st century is having these trading blocks, because that's what is giving them power. You have the TTP with 40% of the economic output in the world. If these three countries, China, Japan, and South Korea get together, that's 20% and 35% of all the trade in the world. So it's on everybody's behalf to get into this, to get serious.
Well, Maricruz, China and South Korea are not involved in the ongoing 12-country Trans-Pacific Partnership free trade negotiations. So does this mean that the free trade zone agreement is more significant for them? Do they have more at stake here?
Well, people are saying that they have to be, or at least they look more eager than Japan does, since Japan is having this advantage, as you say, to be part of the TTP. But I think, yes, if you look at it only in the context of the TTP and this agreement, then you could say, yes, China and South Korea have more to lose, but it's not necessarily true. They are also having bilateral agreement between China and South Korea. And also you have to see it's not only the TTP. They are having an economy that is being growing on a very strong basis. Although lately the growth has stalled a little bit, it's still considered one of the countries that is meeting all of their goals. Also, something important to say and to see that China is really serious about this is the reforms that they have had about 2 weeks ago, these domestic reforms that are historical. That shows me and other people.
That's right. Well, with China's big reforms, China's trying to implement these big reforms, and at the same time, you've got Shinzo Abe. He's on a major push to kickstart Japan's economy. So if trade ties continue to worsen, who will be the biggest loser here?
Well, as I said, you could say it would be China and South Korea, but I don't think Japan has nothing to win if they don't get into this trade agreement. I think Japan wants to get into this agreement because they are also going to have some advantages.
All right, and the countries agreed in a preparatory meeting in Seoul in October that they should conclude the talks by the end of 2015. We'll see if that happens. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Maricruz
Thank you,
Magowan.
Michelle.
Thank you.